Hello and welcome to a review of Kamen Rider OOO's complete selection modification OOO's driver belt. This is the complete set because if you get the regular set you get some medals, but then what's the point? If you're gonna get something this expensive like a adult collector's edition of a driver, why wouldn't you get one with all the medals? So this one has all the medals as well as the extra belt buckle for Kamen Rider Poseidon. So as always, the box looks very good. The photo's very nice on the front, looks great. Turn around to the back, you have the nice photo shoot there of Ank's hand. That's pretty awesome. And you see there on the side, you have these images of all the medals going across. So that's pretty awesome. Lift this box up and you get a really nice OOO's Tajodo combo look right there. But here's the thing though, as nice as these boxes look, I don't like the way they function, because you lift this paper up and it's just a flimsy cardboard with these four sides that you're gonna slide back in and slide into the back of the box. And it's just very inconvenient. I really don't like these boxes, but it seems that this design is here to stay, despite that not being the case with the Fi's complete belt. So before we look at the plastic goods first, inside we have some paper stuff. At first here we have some caution paper there. We have a inventory checklist piece of paper. And of course we have an instruction booklet that's quite thick. Pretty much as big as the Fi's one, because you got like Japanese in the front, you got Chinese and English, and you have Korean. It tells you all the sounds and things you can activate, and different play modes. This actually has like a mini game in there where Ank tells you to select the medals and you have to get the right ones. So that's kind of cool. So those are like sort of new recorded lines. And you also have this folder thingy there, which looks like it's something from the Kogami Foundation. And inside, I mean, it looks like a proper it's work folder. You have some of these sheets, like this mini poster of medal designs there. This was something that you could always see in the back of the show and layouts and all that. This one's just that, and then here you have some design concepts for the driver. So this is really cool stuff for fans to have. It's cheap for them to produce because it's just printed papers, but for fans you definitely enjoy this. You got like different OOO's combos there, and whatever the Japanese text says on the side is probably some of the features and stuff that they can do. I'm going to go through all the main ones from the original movie and TV series. And then we start going into the new ones, the future medals that were never featured. The sort of medals you saw in the background in movie Mega Max that you knew that were there, but never seen or used. And this is the Poseidon medals in the OOO's driver, so that's kind of cool to see. So you got the kangaroo ones and the panda one, that's from the Hyper Battle videos, the special DVDs. And of course you have Poseidon there, and Kamen Rider Core, so that's nice. He's not a design though, like that's just the CG render from the movie, so that kind of sucks. I wish this was like the same as the other ones and just kind of drawn there, but oh well. So inside the box we of course have our CSM belt straps. These are pretty cool, and you got the Velcro underneath, so of course this plastic thing doesn't go all the way back with like all the other CSM, which is a little bit frustrating, but you got this going on, and yeah, pretty awesome. You got that one for each side. We have our little medal holder. You can hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 medals inside, so 2 combos. Back there. We have the this Velcro strap back of the belt, and then we have our scanner holder, also Velcro strapped. The scanner itself, which is the main play feature of this CSM belt. Our metal bit, our buckle, like so. We also have an extra piece here, this is detachable, and the back piece here is actually identical to this one, but this one just has a different color, and this one's for use with the Poseidon buckle. And finally, we have pretty much the main feature. Aside from the scanner, this is it. This whole box of medals. It's crazy, it's heavy, it's awesome. Well, these belt straps, they are the same length as previous CSM stuff, and in terms of comparing this to the original, the coloring of course is much more metallic, and this whole line there actually is much closer to the original OOO's belt, where you see the DX toy, for some reason it's dark grey, and you got these stripes, these little stripes and lines going down, because it's got all these holes for wearing the belt. And the button here is the same as this one. It feels the same because this one's just painted much nicer. And if you compare this metal holder as well, you see it's the exact same mold, but for some reason they use a black button here, I guess for visualization, whereas here it's grey and much more hidden. got the silver paint and the dark colors to line it up. And the Velcro strap's actually very tight. It stops this thing from sliding around too much. And even if it does slide, these bumps in the belt will stop it from sliding all the way. Whereas in this one, it just slides wherever the hell it wants. I also like on the back of this, there's a little bit of extra bump there to elevate this up from the belt itself. So that's pretty cool. It just makes it so that the old scan doesn't bump into you all the time. The rest of the bits on the belt are the same comparison wise. This one's a bit bigger, and of course it's actually fully painted and uses Velcro straps, much like the other pieces. Now I'm guessing because the old metal holder is a little bit heavier, it doesn't use Velcro straps. Instead it's got this thing where you put this on the back on the inside and you slide this in. So it just clips in and stays in there very secure. This thing is bigger than the DX one, and the color of course is different. And if you open the DX one, you see that the hinge is not hidden well at all. You see that little metal bar inside there. It also moves a lot more smoother, like it just flops around. Whereas this one, you see it doesn't do that. I don't know if that's just because it's new or not, or the joint is different, but you can see that they actually cover up the holes to make it look nicer. Now the inside isn't painted. You can see the metallic molding in the plastic, the lines there, but the outside is fully painted and looks great. Now this whole area is bigger than the DX one, but the main body itself is the same size, since these metals are not to scale and still use the DX size, so it's going to be smaller to fit. The backplate for the the metal holder, the buckle, the blue print there is much more metallic, much brighter, and of course the top there has proper silver printing and painting, and the back is pretty much the same. Same difference with the actual metal holder itself. The blue is much brighter and much more consistent and accurate to the shell. Silver print all the way around the side with this missing paint on the top here. And here's a quick look at the bottom. I think the switch to eject it is the same size as the DX one. In terms of the metal scanner, first of all, the gold is much more gold-like, whereas this is pretty brown and orangey. And a quick look at the back. The back seems to be the same. Now this one has many more buttons, aside from the on-off switch that's hidden actually on the back instead of on the side there. You also have this button there, which is a 3-peg button for different modes. The music button's right here, and you also have a hidden audio button there, like a speech button for like ANC or NG and all that. On the front there's actually silver print there and there to cover up the LED holes, whereas here it's pretty obvious. Now the light still shines through pretty bright, so despite having this thing covering it, you can still see the light very well. The speaker holes there are on the side, and this one has some extra holes which is gone from this, as well as on this side is also gone. The paint is also much cleaner than this one. You see there's little bits that comes off the edge, and this one's much cleaner. You see that this here, this battery plate, it goes right down and cuts through, whereas here they didn't cut it. They actually let it slide, this plate slide underneath there, so it's not as obvious that there's a hole there. So in terms of weight, they actually feel the same. You'd think this one would be heavy because there's more to it. It might be just ever so slightly heavier, but for the most part it's the same weight. The extra pieces we got here, this one is the same as the other buckle holder, just fully painted in silver, apart from the middle bit, because you're not going to see it and there's going to be a lot of friction going on when you're moving and rotating something. It's the exact the same. So you can actually use this with the OOO's buckle, even though the Poseidon one doesn't actually rotate. So for the most part, aside from accuracy, you want it to be as accurate as you can get, you will use this, but for the most part I'm going to keep this in the bag because it's pretty much useless for me for the most part, because I can plug this Poseidon thing into the OOO's buckle, like OOO's backing, and it would function just the same. Now in terms of sounds, this one doesn't actually scan any of the metals. Doesn't matter what metals you put in there, this is pretty much a prop, because it's got 3 buttons in there, and if you press all 3, you get Poseidon's henshin noise. If you pull any metal out, he unhenshins, and that's it. That's all the sounds you get for this. It doesn't rotate anything, doesn't scan or anything. This is it. So this is just there for completionist's sake. And then again, this is not exactly the right scale either, because the old metals are smaller than what they should be. There's 1, 2, and 3, like these lines on the back to tell you, which metal goes where. This one only goes in one direction on this backing thing, so that's useful, I guess. But as of right now, that's all that this does. So it's nice to have, but honestly I wouldn't be too upset if this wasn't included. On the top there we have the DX version. In the middle we have the premium all metal collection box, and at the bottom we have the new CSM one. As you see here, that the molding on the DX and the premium box is actually the same. What they've done is they've sprayed a layer of silver underneath it to make the pattern stand out and also hide the chip, whereas the CSM one actually has a new mold. It's much sharper and they actually paint it properly to match what it does look like in the show. You see the Taka metal is just full red, whereas the other two actually have different colorings. The back is much more obvious that the chips are showing, but you see that the molding for the most part on the back is pretty much the same. I believe that these metals actually have the exact same chip inside because the regular DX scanner can still scan the CSM metals, at least some of them. Looking at both the premium metal collection and the CSM ones, pretty much all of the metals have new molding for the patterns. And for the most part, the colors seem to correspond with each other. The only one that's really different is the Tajodo combo. I'm guessing for toy reasons, the 3 different red colors are slightly different to make them more attractive to kids, I suppose. But in the show, all 3 of the metals are the same red. So with CSM, they fixed that and now it's the same as the show. Whereas all the other metals, all the combos seem to have the different color variants. There's also something about how the backing of Kamen Rider Core's medals were in the wrong order, whereas here they fixed that. I remember reading on one of the CSM blogs where they did change the order of that, where the backing is fine. But of course that was something that you could have fixed yourself when you bought the DX medals. And one of the biggest difference is the panda and kangaroo medals. They of course also look quite different. Panda's actually painted now, not just a creamy white color. And of course the back is a regular metal, whereas the Hyper Battle Video, the DX toy that came with it, I'm guessing it's like a capsule version, has like 3 stars on the back for some reason. So does the kangaroo one, and of course the CSM one just has an X to match its its original look. With the new OOO scanner, there are 3 modes. You got the on-off switch there, and the 3 modes are normal mode, buddy mode, and navigation mode. Normal mode means you just have the sound effects like a sort of a DX. Of course the sounds are a lot better and they've been redesigned a little bit, but mostly for the most part it's just transform and scanning charge sounds. With the buddy mode, which is the switch in the middle, there are 89 different short recordings of dialogue. If you want to hear all of those sounds, check out the audio. I will try to put subtitles in so you know what they're saying, but it pretty much just cycles through 89 different dialogue options. Christ. If you long press this button, there's a random chance of 9 different sounds. Most of them are just Anka telling him, hey, we've spotted one of the greeds, here are some medals, he chucks it at them, or the sound effect of Putotero, the medals coming out of his chest, so that's kind of cool. And then after transformation, if you long press this button, you get another 10 different dialogue options that randomly pops up. I don't like that these are random. I would much prefer if these would cycle as well, just so I can easily record it and also easily select which audio I want to hear. And then most of the secondary dialogue after transforming is him changing medals and throwing other medals at him. Now with the buddy mode, there's also a chart of other different audio bits that they might say, and some of them are random and I've not been able to record them. So there is a chart on the instructions here which I'll put up on the screen right now. As you can see here, some of the transformations, NG will say some stuff. Some of the later transformations, they'll follow some of the movie dialogue from Heisei Generations or movie Mega Max. So those are kind of cool, like specific medals will have specific dialogue there. And finally, the navigation mode is this mini game. You push the button, and an Ankh will say 3 medals and chucks it and tells you to use it. And if you scan the right medals, Ankh will say something nice. If you scan the wrong medals, he'll say something not so nice. Just like in buddy mode, if you long press, you'll also get a bunch of dialogue options as well. So those few bits I'll put on screen right now, and hopefully you can see them. So that's kind of cool, kind of fun in a way. So yeah. And we also have our music button right here. If you press that music button, it cycles through 4 different songs. You got the battle song, scanning charge, time judge or short version of course, and short version of anything goes. If you hold down the button, you hear some metal inserting noises, the ch-ch-ch sounds. Pretty much cycles through the sound, 1 for battle, 2 for scanning and all that. and the music will be on standby. As soon as you henshin, soon as you scanning charge, the music will play automatically. Kind of like the Deca driver CSM, when you hold down the music button, nothing will happen until you put the card into the belt. Another thing that notice is if you hold down, a few quirks about this, if you hold down the scan button and power on, you'll automatically get the first time activation sound from the series when the belt is registering itself to NG. If you don't do that, you'll get the normal power on sound. Another thing I've noticed is when you're doing the scanning, when you hold down this button to do the scan, if you don't let go, it doesn't play the music. So I think that's better for like cosplayers or whatever. Like you can put this scanner back to somewhere near your chest before you let it go for it to proceed with the music and stuff. Complete package, we have a lot of medals here. First we have the Tajodo combo, they all look great. Like I said, comparing to the other medals, the colors are correct this time. Got the crack medal here. If you scan this, it will automatically turn the rest of the voices for Tajodo into Ank's voice. We also have the broken medal here. That's of course also exclusive to this complete edition. The broken medal is kind of cool. There's no like gimmick inside it. It still has the metal edge, so this is like a new mold for them. But the plastic fills in the side, and here it's just pretty much just a bit of like grayish paint on there to simulate that it's cracked like gem or metal, whatever. But if you on closer inspection, it's not too good. We have the Tora combo, and these look great as well. Gakigiriba, Shashashota, right there. Sagozo, Putotera, and Bunakawani. Kamen core medals right there. So of course this one doesn't have the henshin noise, but there are 3 other medals that are actually colored versions of these that does have the henshin noise. We got the Super Tatoba combo there, and the X Amazon is stronger. So yes, these have the new sound. So this is where the new sounds come in compared to the DX version. And no, if you have any of the other medals like the Gamperide ones, the Capsule ones, or the Candy Toy ones of other Kamen Riders, no new dial has been recorded for that. In fact, the CSM one will just play back the lesser audio from the DX toy. They just Kamen Rider, or Gamper Rider. It would just do that. And I assume if you have a Dark Rider one, it would just say Dark Rider because it doesn't recognize it. There's no audio for it. And it's kind of odd hearing the DX audio quality coming from the CSM one because they just took the old recordings and just didn't bother replacing it. Next up we have the Silver Ring ones, and this is from the new Heisei Generations movie, and these are the Foundation X medals. That's why they got the silver rims around them. And if you scan the Tajodo combo here, it will be Ank's voice. So you got the Tatoba and Gakriba there, and the DX driver can't recognize these, so they are new medals and they will do slightly different sounds compared to the other ones. In fact, there's some certain dialogues for them, so that's why the DX one can't read them. You've of course got Imagine and Shocker there, and you will get the Tamashi jingle and music as you should and always wanted to have. Next we got like Kangaroo and Panda here. They do say the voice, but there's no special jingle from the Hype Battle video, so these are just there for completion's sake, and they'll just say Kangaroo and Pandas. There's nothing really too special about them. On the one on the right there, that one is a Hermit Crab, Yadokari. Another thing is, the DX toy can actually scan some of these and will say the right name. There's no jingle for them, but the DX toy does recognize this and the top 3 there. It does not recognize these 3. Now these are the 3 for Kamen Rider Poseidon, so these are the ones that you're supposed to put into his belt to do the sounds, and of course they do have jingle with the CSMO's driver. The top 3 there is recognized, but no music. Same as these last 9 here, some of them can be recognized by the DX driver. It's quite interesting. So I guess they were planned originally, but they never had any jingle. So why are they in the DX driver if they didn't have a jingle? Is there some other thing going on behind the scenes? Who knows? So the top there we have the 3 animals for the Kamen Rider Core, because in color now, and if you put these in the CSM driver, you will get the jingle. And the middle bar there we have you have Shaki, Gazelle, and Uzi. So these is deer, gazelle, and bull. And then we have centipede, bee, and ant. And just in case, because I forgot, the ones here are walrus, polar bear, and penguin. The middle is shark, whale, and wolffish. If you are a Kamen Rider O's fan, this belt is pretty much a must-have. It's really complete. That's the thing. And it's got new jingles, it's got so much dialogue. The buddy mode's pretty fun. It's got actually long pieces of music in it, and it even has a mini game in it for you to remember the combos and scan the correct ones. It's pretty awesome. You got the ease of life things that they've done with the button pressing and you know, letting it go at the right time for the transformation stem to play at the right time. It's just really good. Like, this is one of the best CSM belts that I've played around with or seen. It's great. So many more features, so many more things in it to play with. Now, I do imagine if you are a Ryuki fan, that Ryuki CSM belt will be better, since every single card in there has a chip inside, like for scanning, so it doesn't have the weird barcodes or holes in cards, and yet you can still scan the correct thing. That one's very complete as well, but that one's a bit too expensive, and I'm not too big a fan of Ryuki for me to buy that, so I actually skipped on that one. But I like OOOs. I think the medals are very nice looking. They look gorgeous. If you have a nice display for them to go on, they will look great. All the play features are great. The new paint jobs, paint tabs are improved. Really, the only downside with the CSM OOOs driver is that it's not the correct size compared to the prop. The medal with the props should be at least double the size of the medals we got here. But what they've done is they just redone the DX sizes and just upgraded the sounds, which is still good, but one does wonder if it could have been a bigger piece of prop. For the price that it went for, I think it's pretty good value. I did pre-order the little booklet, like 2 of those medal holders, to hold on to some of these medals for like reasons. So I'll film that too later when I get it. So overall, this one is a little bit pricey. I see no reason to pick up the cheaper version of CSM because you're missing so much of the features and missing so many medals. If you are going to get this, get the complete version, and if you are an OOOs fan, you will not be disappointed. It isn't too expensive in the aftermarket. From what I've seen, it's only gone up a little bit in price, and of course there is the shipping issue. The golden areas on the medals are made of die-cast metal, so this entire box is a little bit heavy, so you're gonna have to pay the shipping charges, or at least pay for, like, you know, boat shipping charges, which is going to be a little bit cheaper. So that's going to suck. So if you find stuff in Asia and you're an OOOs fan, you're definitely going to try and pick it up as soon as you can. As always, if you enjoyed this video, found it useful, please consider clicking the like button, subscribe button if you haven't done so already. You can support this channel by sharing this video with other people, watching with adblock turned off, or just heading over to Patreon and supporting it that way. As always, take care, have a nice day, and make sure you have a nice pair of clean pants for tomorrow. As always, take care, have a nice day, bye.